Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Patek Philippe 5170R-001. You can see this manually wound rose gold Patek Philippe chronograph on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Patek Philippe 5170R. Now the watch on my wrist wears well. Somewhat smaller than its 42mm 5070 predecessor, this watch has greater elegance compared to the watch that came before. The watch is 39.5mm across the round of the case, not inclusive of the crown, 11.1mm thick with a slightly sloped conical bezel, and from lug to lug a very wearable 47.3mm. While my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, I would say this watch would fit well on a wrist down to 15.5, maybe even 15 centimeters in circumference, with absolutely no undue misproportion or insecurity. The watch will be quite planted on an oval-shaped wrist as small as 15 centimeters in circumference. Now the watch does have a lot of personality, and it derives from the sensuous and clean lines of the case. It's not overwrought. It has an economy of line and an economy of mass, and the two combine to create a timepiece that, although rendered in rose gold, would be equally welcome in Miami or New York, a difficult feat to accomplish. Now it does have substance to it. You hold it and you feel it, and you know that it's a precious metal watch, eyes closed. The thin profile of the watch does not mean it feels unnervingly light. This is a watch that looks and feels every gram of its precious metal, and it's aided and abetted by a very substantial single folding deployant clasp with a filigree style Calatrava cross on the top. Now the Calatrava cross gives way to a medium brown gloss rectangular scale, monotone stitch, folded edge Patek Philippe leather strap, and on the bottom, supple calfskin paired with the modern Patek Philippe signature, the pull tab spring bar that you can remove using only a thumbnail, no need to resort to a screwdriver or test your skill with a jeweler's tool against these beautiful lugs. Makes for easy cleaning and swapping of strap. Now, you get a look at the caliber 29-535, but just a preview. We're going to start on the dial side. The case has a decidedly masculine character, not terribly sensuous with the exception of the beautiful blended lugs. It has hard horizontal lines and creases like a well-tailored suit, but the bezel is minimized, pushed out to the very periphery of the watch to maximize the size of the dial. And therein lies one of the great transitional styling measures that really differentiates this watch from its predecessor. Rather than having multiple concentric tracks and calibrations to disguise the size of the smaller Lamagna-based movement of the predecessor, this watch has only a beautiful railroad-style seconds and minutes track outboard. Now you can see that each one of the sub-registers, countersunken, is positioned somewhat below the axis of the hands at center, allowing Patek Philippe to include a beautiful spread of 5 stylized 18-karat gold, rose gold no less, Breguet Arabic numerals, and a discreet traditional Patek Philippe Genève marquee. Now, more rose gold, Breguet-style Arabics at 6 o'clock, the hands a beautifully light foy or leaf style, and a lancet seconds hand at center. Now, you see, as we approach 1 minute, you can watch the jumper itself in action. And that's part of the appeal of this watch. It uses a rack and a snail, somewhat like a minute repeater, to operate the 1 minute jumper, and with each circuit that mechanism jumps to life. And therein lies one of the reasons Patek Philippe considers this to be an exceptionally complicated timepiece. In spite of the fact that it contains, for instance, fewer pieces than something like a Patek Philippe annual calendar, it's the interaction of wheels and levers, which involves considerable watchmaker tuning, that defines this watch as one of Patek Philippe's most complex, at least from the watchmaker's standpoint, simply because of the amount of hand labor and incremental adjustment that's required whenever this movement goes back together. Once again, I'll show you how that minute jumper works. It's an instantaneous turnover, and you can see as the chronograph seconds hand approaches 12, you can see the mechanism just below my thumb. once every minute. Now, of course, this is a movement that needs no introduction. This is a completely in-house Patek Philippe caliber 29-535. You can see the beautifully polished Geneva-style capped column wheel. You can see the chronograph drivetrain just beneath my thumb. You may ask, why does the watch have a lateral clutch in an era when we're told vertical clutches represent the highest technology and the most efficient setup? Well, it's because you can see the entirety of a lateral clutch. You can see the driving wheel operating permanently off the fourth wheel of the time-telling drivetrain. You can see the intermediate wheel adjacent to the center wheel, and then when I actuate the chronograph, you can see it withdraw. You can see the lateral clutch. Now it's withdrawn. Now it's in contact. You can see these two golden wheels underneath my thumb, and you can see the movement of the entire apparatus. This watch keeps no secrets. An automatic vertical clutch chronograph movement may be very advanced, but it has a soulless, almost occultation to its mechanism. Everything here is seen, not hidden. And again, you can see the two wheels engaged, now disengaged. Now you can watch the recentering hammers at center and the interaction of the levers and horns about the column wheel when I reset the chronograph. It operates at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and it has a 65-hour power reserve, so you can wind this watch every other day if winding your watch isn't your pleasure. But frankly, I can't understand any reason why you wouldn't want to wind it daily. The power reserve is superb, but the chance to interact with this watch, which winds like smooth risotto, which features chronograph pushers so crisp you'd swear they were made by gunsmiths. This is a timepiece that appeals aesthetically, yes, but also from an emotional and intellectual standpoint, it really does offer both sides of the yin-yang. This is a watch that can satisfy anyone, Miami or New York, left brain or right brain. You can see it and you can purchase it on our website.